Lesson 1. Stop playing by the rules. Stop right now if you think playing fair will get you ahead. Life doesn't reward fairness, politeness, or morality. It rewards results, foresight, and execution. Machiavelli's first lesson is brutal. Rules are tools, not morality. Blind adherence makes you predictable, exploitable, and ultimately powerless. If you want to dominate, you must understand when rules protect you and when they hold you back. Most men live trapped in a fantasy. Obeying rules guarantees success. They wait for approval, follow instructions to the letter, and believe diligence earns recognition. These men are predictable, easy to manipulate, and ultimately irrelevant. History is full of men who ignored convention and seized power. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon without permission, defying Roman Senate rules to take control of destiny. Napoleon defied military orthodoxy and conventional tactics to achieve victories that astounded Europe. Alexander the Great constantly defied norms to expand an empire. These men ignored rules when opportunity demanded it, acting decisively while others hesitated. Strategic rule-breaking is not chaos. Recklessness is impulsive, ego-driven, and short-sighted. Strategy evaluates cost, consequence, timing, and long-term advantage. For instance, in business, an employee who follows every protocol meticulously may be safe, but will never dominate. The man who identifies inefficiencies, exploits loopholes, and acts before others notice gains authority, influence, and opportunity. Strategy separates the ordinary from the unstoppable. How to implement this lesson in modern life? Prioritize results over approval. Measure every action by its outcome, not by how polite or safe it seems. The weak wait for permission, the strong act. Identify which rules serve and which limit. Compliance should enhance your position. Rigidity is weakness. A rule that protects others more than you should be bent or ignored. Think multiple moves ahead. Life is a chessboard. Anticipate reactions, consequences, and counter-moves before acting. Act discreetly, silent. Invisible strategy yields maximum leverage. Avoid broadcasting your intentions unless it strengthens perception. Exploit predictability. The moment everyone else is predictable, deviation becomes your power. Anticipate the expected and strike with the unexpected. Practical exercise. For 1 week, identify one rule you follow that limits your results. Analyze it critically. Is it protecting you or holding you back? Find one safe way to bend or bypass it strategically. Note the results, then scale gradually. The world does not reward fairness. It rewards the man who achieves, the man who moves when others wait, the man who takes calculated risks. Rules are a framework, not a mandate. Understanding this distinction is the first step toward becoming unstoppable. Lesson 2. Control perception. Perception is reality. Influence depends less on what you do and more on how others interpret it. Machiavelli recognized that controlling perception is critical. People act based on beliefs, not facts. You can be the most competent, skilled, and strategic individual in the room, but if others perceive you differently, your power diminishes. A strategic man treats his image as a weapon. Confidence, consistency, timing, and selective communication combine to create an aura that shapes behavior. People react to signals, not facts. They respond to the image you project more than the reality you inhabit. Mastering perception means controlling how others feel about you and guiding their choices without force. Strategies to master perception. Project unwavering confidence. Even when uncertain, act decisively. Hesitation signals weakness. Confidence alone can command compliance before action even begins. Maintain consistent authority. Demonstrated competence and reliability are key. People respect the man who always delivers, but they fear the one who delivers unpredictably and decisively. Use silence strategically, speak less, let people overestimate your knowledge and skill. In negotiation, silence is more persuasive than words. Reward loyalty, conceal strategy, publicly praise allies, privately plan moves. The invisible strategy is the ultimate weapon. Control narrative exposure. Determine exactly what others see, hear, and interpret. Public missteps can be controlled by careful framing. Private intentions remain your secret advantage. Historical examples. In Florence, Political leaders curated their image to secure loyalty and manipulate rivals. In corporate boardrooms, CEOs project calm authority while competitors panic, publicly praising loyal allies, privately maneuvering for maximum gain. Socially, a man who reads rooms, speaks sparingly, and controls impressions becomes central without overt effort. Modern applications. In business negotiations, perception controls leverage. Appear calm, confident, and always in control. Even if uncertain internally, projecting certainty shifts decision-making power toward you. On social media, carefully curated posts shape public perception, influencing authority and credibility in ways invisible to competitors. Mastering perception is not deceit. It is strategy, psychology, and positioning. When perception is controlled, people act in alignment with your objectives without realizing it. Influence becomes effortless. Respect, fear, and obedience follow naturally. Lesson 3. Turn enemies into assets. Enemies are opportunity disguised as threats. Most men react with fear, anger, or avoidance, squandering energy and exposing vulnerability. Machiavelli taught that rivals, when observed and managed strategically, can become tools for your advantage. Conflict reveals patterns, weaknesses, and leverage points. The man who sees enemies as resources gains power, while others waste energy resisting them blindly. How to convert rivals into assets. Observe your enemies closely. Study their motives, habits, alliances, and triggers. Knowledge is leverage. Guide them indirectly. Influence rival conflicts so they serve your goals without direct confrontation. Manipulate circumstances. Let them fight battles you design. Learn from opposition. Rivalry exposes weaknesses in your skills, strategy, and adaptability. Adapt, grow, and improve from their actions. Form strategic alliances. Sometimes enemies can become allies when interests align. Temporary collaboration can strengthen your position against a greater threat. Historical examples. Florence's political families constantly conflicted. Machiavelli leveraged these rivalries, siding with factions when advantageous while maintaining independence when needed. Businesses exploit competitors' missteps. Apple observes Microsoft's failures and leverages them. Nike adapts based on Adidas miscalculations. Modern application. In the workplace, an adversary who challenges you may force you to sharpen your skills, innovate, and improve efficiency. In negotiations, opponents may unknowingly advance your position through overconfidence, missteps, or exposure of information. Turning enemies into assets requires patience, observation, and strategy. Emotional reactions create missteps. Calculated leverage converts threats into tools. This is how the unstoppable man transforms chaos into opportunity, reshaping conflict into advantage. Practical exercise. List 3 current rivals or competitors in your life. For each, identify one way they can be leveraged as an asset: intelligence, influence, mistakes, or network. Plan one small strategic move to use this advantage within a week. Lesson 4. Be feared, not loved. Love is inconsistent. People will admire you one day and betray you the next. Fear, when applied strategically, commands consistency, obedience, and respect. Machiavelli's guidance is often misunderstood. The goal is not cruelty, but authority. Authority built on fear is enduring, enforceable, and protective of power. Love is optional. Fear is a tool that ensures survival and dominance. Most men misinterpret fear as oppression or tyranny. True fear is respect rooted in competence, consistency, and decisiveness. It is not terror without cause. It is a calculated demonstration of consequence. The man who masters this principle knows how to enforce boundaries without overreacting emotionally, ensuring that loyalty stems from recognition of competence, not emotion. Implementation strategies. Set clear boundaries and rules. People respect predictable authority. Inconsistent enforcement is weakness. Reward loyalty visibly. Let allies see that alignment benefits them tangibly. Loyalty must be profitable. Punish betrayal decisively and proportionally. Your consequences should be predictable, visible, and unemotional, signaling control rather than anger. Exude calm competence. Fear arises when people recognize skill and decisiveness. Mastery is intimidating. Maintain subtle unpredictability. Occasional controlled unpredictability keeps others alert, reinforcing your presence without chaos. Historical examples. Cesare Borgia, often cited by Machiavelli, ruled through a combination of calculated fear and respect. He rewarded loyalty generously, but betrayal was met with swift, public consequences, consolidating power efficiently. Napoleon maintained fear through disciplined control of his troops, while consistently demonstrating battlefield genius. This created unwavering obedience and deference. Modern applications. In corporate environments, leaders who combine authority with competence enforce policies and deadlines effectively. Fear of consequences ensures alignment, while admiration alone cannot guarantee compliance. Socially, a man who exudes confidence, strategic control, and unpredictability commands respect even among peers who may not like him. Practical exercise. Identify one area in your life where loyalty is taken for granted. Create a structured way to visibly reward commitment while establishing a consequence framework for betrayal or inaction. Track reactions and adjust to maintain balance. Mastery of fear is not about cruelty. It is about commanding authority, projecting competence, and ensuring your influence is durable. Love may fluctuate. Fear, tempered with respect, ensures obedience and reinforces your unstoppable presence. Lesson 5. Master emotional discipline. Emotional control is the foundation of all power. Without it, intelligence, skill, and strategy are wasted. Machiavelli emphasized that the man who cannot govern his own impulses cannot govern outcomes, influence others, or seize opportunity. Impulsiveness, anger, and overreaction are predictable and exploitable. Emotional discipline transforms you into a calculated, unstoppable force. The modern man is bombarded with stimuli that provoke impulsive reactions: social media, workplace conflicts, and interpersonal challenges. The weak react, the strong respond. Emotional discipline is about transforming raw emotion into precision action. Anger can be a tool for focus, fear can sharpen vigilance, and desire can motivate calculated risk. Mismanaged emotion, however, is vulnerability. Strategies for mastering emotional discipline. Pause before reacting. Immediate responses are predictable and can be exploited. Take a deliberate moment to assess. Convert negative emotion into strategy. Use frustration to analyze failures, anger to energize preparation, and fear to anticipate risk. Maintain a calm exterior. Stability projects authority, deters threats, and fosters trust. Stress test your limits. Regularly expose yourself to challenging scenarios to build resilience and reduce susceptibility to emotional hijack. Journal and reflect. Analyze situations where emotion dictated action. Plan how to respond differently next time. Historical examples. Julius Caesar remained calm in the face of political betrayal and military uncertainty, allowing him to make strategic decisions while others panicked. Winston Churchill, though often frustrated privately, projected calm authority during World War II, maintaining morale and command despite catastrophic pressures. Modern applications. Negotiations. Calm, unemotional responses allow you to extract concessions, while reactive opponents reveal vulnerabilities. Leadership. Employees or followers align with leaders who are unshakable under pressure. Instability drives disloyalty and loss of control. Social influence. People are naturally drawn to calm, self-controlled individuals, assigning them authority even without formal power. Practical exercise. Identify one recurring emotional trigger in your personal or professional life. For 1 week, implement the following steps. Pause, assess, and convert the emotional response into a strategic action. Document outcomes and reflect. Over time, this practice rewires instinctual reactions into deliberate power moves. Emotional mastery is the backbone of unstoppable influence. Without it, competence is wasted. With it, even modest ability becomes formidable. The disciplined mind sees opportunity where others see chaos. The disciplined man shapes reality rather than being shaped by it. Lesson 6. Information is power. Gather, guard, and leverage. Knowledge is not passive, it is a weapon. Machiavelli understood that control over information determines control over outcomes. The man who knows more than his rivals, who interprets intelligence accurately, and acts decisively holds disproportionate power. Likewise, the man who leaks, misuses, or undervalues information falls behind. In a world flooded with data, discernment is the ultimate competitive advantage. Why information matters? It allows anticipation of threats. It reveals vulnerabilities in competitors and allies. It provides leverage in negotiation, conflict, and decision-making. How to gather information effectively. Observe constantly. Actions, habits, alliances, and patterns reveal intentions. Ask strategic questions, not out of curiosity, but to extract relevant intelligence. Monitor communication channels. Emails, social media, public statements, and private whispers all carry actionable clues. Document and analyze. Track trends, patterns, and inconsistencies. Knowledge without structure is wasted. Learn from your rivals. Competitors' mistakes are a treasure trove. Successes reveal standards to exceed. How to guard your own information. Disguise intentions. Let others overestimate or misinterpret your plans. Limit exposure. Share information on a need-to-know basis. Unnecessary transparency weakens leverage. Create controlled leaks. Occasionally releasing partial information shapes perception and manipulates behavior. Leveraging information for power. Timing is everything. Even the most valuable intelligence is useless if not applied at the right moment. Anticipate reactions and prepare contingencies before acting. Use information to control narratives, strengthen perception, and manage fear or respect. Historical examples. Machiavelli advised princes to employ spies, court observers, and secret networks to consolidate power. During the Cold War, intelligence dominance determined strategic outcomes, from missile negotiations to covert operations. Modern applications. In business, companies like Amazon and Tesla leverage data on consumer behavior, competitors, and markets to dominate industries. In personal life, understanding social dynamics, behavioral patterns, and subtle signals enhances influence and negotiation. Practical exercise. For 1 week, monitor your environment. Identify patterns, inconsistencies, and hidden motivations in colleagues, peers, or rivals. Keep a journal of insights and consider how they could be leveraged for influence or advantage. Simultaneously, review your own information exposure and tighten what you reveal publicly. Knowledge is not power in isolation. Applied knowledge is mastery. To be unstoppable, treat information like currency. Acquire it, safeguard it, and invest it strategically. The man who controls intelligence controls outcomes. Lesson 7. Strategic patience. Wait, watch, strike. Patience is not passivity. Machiavelli repeatedly emphasized that the man who acts impulsively is easily exploited, while the man who waits, watches, and chooses the perfect moment dominates outcomes. Strategic patience is the weapon of the intelligent. It allows you to observe, understand, and capitalize on opportunity when the moment is precisely right. Most men are impatient. They act on impulse, emotion, or short-term reward, surrendering leverage and making themselves predictable. The weak rush to negotiate, rush to confront, rush to act, leaving mistakes and vulnerability in their wake. The strong, however, understand that timing is the invisible multiplier of power. A carefully chosen moment can amplify results exponentially. A rushed action, no matter how competent, can lead to failure or exposure. Understanding the power of patience. Observation first. Before acting, learn the environment, the people, the dynamics, and the hidden forces at play. Patience allows intelligence to accumulate and patterns to emerge. Predict behavior. The man who observes can anticipate reactions, desires, and weaknesses. This predictive ability transforms waiting into an active process, not idle delay. Allow tension to build. Strategic tension amplifies the effect of your eventual action. People overextend themselves, overcommit, or reveal weaknesses when pressured by time or uncertainty. Strike decisively when the moment is right. Act with full force and precision. Hesitation at the critical moment diminishes advantage. Boldness at the right moment multiplies it. Historical examples. Alexander the Great waited patiently for opportune moments in battle, often letting enemies overextend themselves before striking decisively. His patience amplified his military effectiveness. Sun Tzu. In the art of war, repeatedly emphasize that victories are often achieved before battle, through positioning, intelligence, and timing, not sheer force. Business leaders such as Warren Buffett exemplify this principle. Decades of patience, observation, and selective investment created extraordinary wealth. He strikes only when opportunity aligns perfectly with preparation and insight. Modern applications. In negotiations, the man who waits for the counterpart to reveal intentions, limitations, or urgency gains leverage. Premature offers weakened position. In leadership, observing team dynamics before assigning responsibility ensures optimal alignment and maximum impact. Rushing to judgment or action creates inefficiency and conflict. Socially, patience allows influence to grow silently. People underestimate the patient man, only to find themselves aligned with his plans when he chooses to act. Tactical exercises. Identify one decision in your life this week where you usually act impulsively. Delay your action intentionally while observing patterns, motives, and opportunities. Document changes and outcomes compared to immediate action. Practice silent anticipation in conversations or negotiations. Listen carefully, gather information, and allow others to reveal more than they intend. Apply the pressure window principle. Create slight tension, observe reactions, and act decisively when timing maximizes impact. Strategic patience is not passive waiting. It is active preparation, observation, and control. The impatient man reacts. The patient man dominates. Understanding when to act is more important than the action itself. To be unstoppable, cultivate patience as a tactical weapon, turning time into leverage that multiplies every effort and decision. Lesson 8. Fortune favors the prepared. Prepare relentlessly. The final lesson in Machiavelli's framework is preparation. Fortune, chance, opportunity, chaos, favors the man who is ready. Luck is not random. It is the convergence of preparation, observation, and decisiveness. Machiavelli understood that even the strongest man is vulnerable without preparation. Conversely, the prepared man seizes fortune and converts it into unstoppable advantage. Most men rely on hope, wishful thinking, or the illusion of skill. They wait for opportunity to fall into their lap and are devastated when it doesn't. The disciplined man knows that luck is predictable. It aligns with readiness, adaptability, and foresight. Preparation turns randomness into opportunity, uncertainty into advantage, and crisis into dominance. Key elements of preparation. Knowledge accumulation. Information is the foundation of readiness. Understand your environment, rivals, allies, and yourself. Constantly seek intelligence to anticipate scenarios. Skill mastery. Competence transforms potential into results. Training, repetition, and refinement allow rapid, precise action when opportunity appears. Scenario planning. Anticipate potential threats, opportunities, and contingencies. Map paths of action for both expected and unexpected outcomes. Resource readiness. Power without resources is impotent. Money, alliances, influence, and tools must be available before the moment of execution. Psychological resilience. Preparation includes mental fortitude. Chaos will challenge you. Emotional discipline ensures readiness translates into action rather than panic. Historical examples. Napoleon Bonaparte meticulously prepared his campaigns. Intelligence on terrain, troop positioning, supply lines, and enemy behavior allowed him to consistently turn uncertainty into victory. The Roman legions maintained discipline, drills, and standardized procedures, ensuring that even under unpredictable battle conditions, soldiers performed at optimal efficiency. Modern entrepreneurs like Elon Musk rigorously prepare. Meticulous research, prototyping, scenario testing, and financial planning convert uncertainty into industry disruption. Modern applications. In business, preparation involves market analysis, competitor research, resource allocation, and contingency planning. The prepared entrepreneur thrives where the unprepared fail. In personal life, mastering health, finances, and skills ensures that chance opportunities, job offers, investments, relationships can be leveraged instantly. Social influence relies on preparation, understanding dynamics, cultivating relationships, and anticipating behavior ensures maximum impact when action is taken. Practical exercises. Identify one critical area of your life: career, finances, fitness, or personal relationships. Develop a preparation plan with measurable milestones for the next month. Conduct a scenario analysis. List 5 potential challenges or opportunities and map how you would respond effectively to each. Build a resources readiness checklist: skills, tools, networks, and knowledge you would need to capitalize on unforeseen opportunities. Preparation is the bridge between potential and mastery. Fortune does not favor the naive or idle. It rewards the vigilant, the disciplined, and the ready. By preparing relentlessly, you transform chaos into opportunity, uncertainty into control, and chance into predictable success.